Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today we are back with yet again another video that I wanted to do like a week and a half ago, and then it got delayed, significantly because of the PTS, which of course was warranted. The PTS is what we've been waiting for, and the new content for so long, but this is a very important video that I wanted to do back then, and I'm glad I'm getting to it now, and it should be, I think, the last video that I had to delay that I'm now trying to get out before Phase 2 of the PTS, which I think we should get the patch notes for tomorrow. But regardless, here we are with this video, and in this one I want to talk about a gear set that has been in the game for a very long time that had a functionality that I had zero idea about, and I would go so far as to say that I bet a lot of you did not as well. Now, this was only pointed out to me because of a viewer of mine on a video I did about 2 weeks ago talking about the system corruption rework, the potential one that we might be seeing in the future, and that person was Philip. I will put the comment up on screen, so all the credit goes to him for letting me know that this was even a thing, and I am very excited to be bringing this to you today. You can even see on that comment there, I said, say what now? Did I miss something? Because he's right in there when he says that Tip of the Spear has a completely different functionality in PvP in the Dark Zone that I had no clue about. And I've never seen anyone in the running it, and it's actually a very strong bonus when you pair it right, and it opens the door for a lot of creativity and build diversity in PvP. So let's just get into it. And I'm going to go through it. I'm going to show you it in action in the Dark Zone, the whole thing. And I think you'll be pretty surprised by the end, because I don't know how I never knew this was a thing. So if you didn't know, I knew this, but I guess I never checked it with Tip of the Spear. If you click, well, if you're on console control, you can see down there at the bottom, it says view PvP stats for my controller. It is click the left stick, whatever that might be on PC or other platforms, and everything turns to a shade of blue. And that means that you're now seeing the PvP stats of different items, right? Like if you go to Unbreakable, it goes from 95% in PvE to 50% in PvP. You see if I turn it off and I go back, then it does that. So if you didn't know that as a base, you can do that and check the different variations between talents and gear sets and whatnot in PvP. But Tip of the Spear has a pretty major one that I was never aware of. So let's go and look at the base version of Tip of the Spear, what it does, in case you don't know, because I would say this is definitely one of the least used gear sets in the game if I had to wager. So the 2-piece is 10% signature weapon damage, 3-piece 10% weapon damage, and the 4-piece is aggressive recon. Dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds, automatically generates signature weapon ammo every 60 seconds. And this isn't a terrible gear set, right? Like I tried to make a build with it before and it's not awful. There's just better options, right? However, obviously you cannot use specialization weapons in PvP and in the DZ. That is going to be changing in year 4, but currently and for the last however long, you have not been able to do that. And so I just kind of figured that Tip of the Spear just didn't work in PvP. You know, I didn't really think they had another functionality for it, didn't think anything of it until Philip's comment. So if you click view PvP stats and you go back to Tip of the Spear, oh, it's changed. Now the 2-piece is still 10% signature weapon damage, which does, become a null bonus because you can't use those in the DZ. You can use them in conflict. So that is a bit unfortunate. However, I would argue that even with that being a thing, this gear set is still worth at least trying out in a few different setups. The 3-piece still gives you 10% weapon damage, which is nice to counteract with gear sets only getting one attribute roll. And then you can see the 4-piece is that damaging enemies with a grenade increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds. For a minute, you get a 20% weapon damage buff just by landing a grenade. Automatically generates grenade ammo every 60 seconds. And then if you run the chest piece, which is what I highly recommend if you're going to try this out, you get the specialized destruction amplification talent, which increases aggressive recon weapon damage bonus from 20 to 40%. So all of a sudden, just by landing a grenade, you're getting a 40% weapon damage increase for 60 seconds. That is big. And so I am going to go into the DZ and give a little demonstration of how it works just so you can see, but I just want to point out how many different kinds of build options you can really come up with knowing that that's the talent, right? On this one, I have 5 blues and 1 red, and when I get that 40% weapon damage buff, I deal a lot of damage. And you're going to see that pretty soon. You can also, I didn't fully get the balancing right because it was kind of hard to farm for, but at least in general, this is my idea for another build. Make it skill focused, where you have healing, 4 blues, 2 yellows, a few reds mixed in there, although I think I wanted to change those, but I didn't get the right pieces. But you do companion, and with the capacitor, you land a grenade, you're getting 40% weapon damage, 15 from companion, another 15 from the 2 skill tiers on the capacitor. I was dealing a lot of damage, healing myself up, and being generally tanky. So there's lots of options for hybrids. There was a idea I had to use the Acosta's backpack because you get extra grenades, and you get a bonus for throwing grenades. Again, extra skill tier, which if you use the capacitor, then also gives you an additional 7.5% weapon damage. There's a lot of different options and build, combinations that, knowing that this gear set has this functionality, unlocks, and I think that's pretty cool. So I wanted to point that out, but let us now go to the DZ, and I will show you exactly how it works. All right, well, everybody scattered and met up back here. Let me see if I can proc the grenade on this guy and give you a bit of a sense of how it works. So, maybe. Dang. It also does work on NPCs, I will note. So if you're by a landmark, that's an easy way to get it going. That didn't hit him either. Luckily, it does regenerate nades. And this is very useful in, like, team fights and 4v4s. It's probably better than the scenario that I'm in right now, to be honest. I'm just trying to do this so I can give you an idea of how it does indeed work. I'm going to waste every single grenade trying to get this going. What? He was down in it. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, we'll get it on one of these NPCs and then go rogue. You can see I think I already regenerated one of the nades. Okay, so if he stays in it. Okay, so that thing that just showed up, I think it's the ongoing directive buff symbol, but it is actually the one for this. I don't know why it looks like that. 5 blues. I'd say that's pretty solid damage, if I do say so myself. And this is just one example again. I'm running 4 of that, 1 piece Sombra, 1 Sokolov with a concussion. That's just one example of ways you could set this up. And yeah, I think having this additional functionality for Tip of the Spear in the DZ obviously makes it viable for PvP, whereas it wasn't before with the specialization focused bonuses. And it's very cool to me that we have this in here to try out. Let's see how we do against this guy with like 1,000,000 memento stacks. It's gonna let my kit run out. I'll let your things run out there. Kind of a miss. There we go. And so again, probably going to be better in a team fight than solo, because you have to proc those grenades to get the damage, but it does work on NPCs. And again, when you use Firewall, it's pretty easy to tag someone up when you have like 1,000,000 different cluster nades going out. And so that is, ladies and gentlemen, a look at the Tip of the Spear functionality in PvP that I had no idea about, and I would guess some of you did not as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts on this kind of unveiling of Tip of the Spear's hidden functionality. Did you perhaps already know that this was a thing in the DZ and PvP, and maybe I'm the only one? I have a feeling I'm not, though, because a lot of my friends I usually play with were not aware of this, and some other people in the own comment section of that video were not aware. So once again, thank you very much to Philip for letting myself and everybody know this was a thing. Don't know how I missed it before, but I guess Tip of the Spear was just not on my list of things to pay attention to. So I'm very glad that we now have this. As I said, it opens up a lot of build opportunities and possibilities. If you are going to try this out, let me know what setups you think you might try and go for to really utilize the weapon damage boost that you can get from this, especially with the chest piece. It makes it really nice to just get tons of weapon damage, and it allows you to spec into other things and create some nice, type of hybrid builds. That is probably going to do it for me today, though. Everybody, hope you enjoyed this bit of, little shout out, little guide to a new type of build you can try out if you're looking for something to run while the new content is on its way. But yeah, everybody, thank you all once again so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold. Ow.